So I'm just gonna do a quick video while I can. The whole family's here, but there's a couple of stores that I've seen in the surrounding area, specifically out in Gaston County, that I kind of wanted to check out. And I have a friend, and he and his wife have recently gotten into records, and they're a little bit more like novice. They both love music, but they're not like on the super geeky level like a lot of us. So he and I talked about it, and then I also reached out to my buddy Justin. I'm gonna link his Instagram because Justin doesn't make videos, but I'm gonna link his Instagram in the description. Justin's been collecting records for a long time, and I don't know why it took us so long to link up, but we've met up a couple times now and messaged pretty frequently. So my buddy couldn't make it. Ended up that he couldn't meet us, so me and Justin just met up, and we checked out two stores in Gaston County. So the first one we went to is called JG's Vinyl and More, and I'd kind of checked it out online. Looked like a pretty crazy wall. The storefront has only been open since the end of last year. So we went by there first, and then there was a store in McAdenville that we were gonna check on the way back. So JG's Vinyl and More, it's in downtown Gastonia. Nice little location right off of like one of the main streets there. We walked in, excellent store. Not a ton to dig through, just the perfect amount. Super well curated. The guy's like a metal guy, and so there's a ton of metal in there. And the wall was absolutely insane. And there was stuff in the glass cases. There were a few AC/DC Australian pressings I was eyeing. I didn't end up getting those, but there's just other stuff that I'd never seen before. You had like an actual official 1996 pressing of Tool's Anima. We had one whole side of the wall, everything was sealed, and 98% of it was original pressings. A lot of them from the 80s and the 90s. There was just a lot of great punk in there too. And then he had one whole bin, a double-sided bin, full of just Japanese pressings. Something I've never seen in this area. And it's something that the guy clearly is super into and, has some connects or whatever, but still just a really cool store. And then even when you go into the rock bins, like, and the other genre bins, everything that you flip through was super quality. It just wasn't piles of just other stuff thrown in. Like, he's very selective about what he's putting out in the bins. So what did I grab while I was in there? Well, I found this Stretching Out in Bootsy's Rubber Band. So this is like the debut Bootsy's Rubber Band LP. I actually found the second one sealed at Noble like earlier this year, I believe. So it was cool to find this one. Found this original pressing of James Brown's Reality from 1974. Still in the shrink. It will be coming off pretty quickly. In the country section, I found this copy of Loretta Lynn's Writes 'Em and Sings 'Em. This was put out on Decca, which is kind of interesting. It's like half the songs have been previously released on other albums. Nice fire truck. But then there's like the other half had never been released before, all new songs. This came out in 1970, and it's in excellent condition. The second album by Joe Ely, Honky Tonk Masquerade, Texas singer-songwriter. Also had the debut, which I already had, so I talked Justin into buying the debut because that is a fantastic record. I don't see this one very often, so I was glad to grab that. I decided, since I don't see them that often and they were just readily available, I picked up a Japanese pressing of A Moon-Shaped Pool by Radiohead, because The US pressings, I've had two. I bought the white one that was like I don't know if it was really an indie store exclusive or something, but I bought it when it came out, super noisy. And then I bought a black copy after trading that white one in, and it was still kind of noisy. Now, not completely a non-starter, still sounded somewhat decent, but you know, a Moonshaped Pool has such beautiful quiet moments in it, and it really kind of bothers me to hear that much surface noise in it. Pretty well known online that it's just not the best quality pressing, so I figured, you know, we'll give the Japanese one a chance, right? See how it sounds. So JG's Vinyl and More in downtown Gastonia. The guy actually looked familiar when I'd seen him. So yeah, I had seen him before at the record show here in Charlotte, and he sells at the Greg Neal shows that are held in the area. But he and another guy decided to start their own, and they're going to be hosting the first one in downtown Gastonia at the Conference Center on September 27th. This is exciting, so I might talk to the folks around here in the Carolinas, maybe arrange a meetup and head up there on September 27th. Although it is a day before my anniversary, so I don't know. I'll have to check with the missus first. So then we went to Revolver Records, which is in downtown McAdenville. Nice little cool store in there, mostly used stuff. Had a bin of some newer things, had a good amount of kind of reissue type series things in there. The used was just all kind of put together. Not a lot separated by genre. There was like a new arrivals bin, had some really nice stuff in it. A couple of interesting things on the wall that I thought about, but no like super heavy hitters, but still the kind of store that if I lived closer, I would probably pop in every once in a while, because the owner seemed to really know his stuff, and you could just see that maybe there might be some things that come through every once in a while, right? Still, I will recommend Revolver Records in downtown McAdenville. If you're in the area, definitely worth stopping in for sure. I had a little bit of extra time, so before I had to, the time that I had promised that I'd be done. And so I checked with Justin. I was like, we're heading back into Charlotte. You've never been to Premium Sound. If you want to go into Premium Sound, we'll stop in, say hi to Luke. Definitely want you to check it out. And he was like, yeah, sounds good. I said, it's super small, so it won't take very long to go through. I'm always kind of the first, always go to the new arrivals first. Then if I don't see anything in there, then I immediately go to the R&B section, because Luke's always got some good R&B stuff. Found this radio station promo of the 5 Stair Steps 1970 album, Stair Steps. Has the hit Ooh Child on it, which people know. I just wasn't sure about the rest of their stuff, what it sounds like. So I was a little hesitant on this one. There was a guy that was in there from out of town. He's like a DJ, and he's said that I should get it. So might err a little bit more on the poppy side of R&B, but still. Now I had seen a copy of this when we were at JG's, and I passed on it because it was marked VGE. And then I found this, Puzzle People by the Temptations. That psychedelic era stuff, always worth checking out. Classic Temptations stuff on the Gordy label. Not sure the exact pressing on this one, but a discography I've been kind of wanting to catch up on a little bit, because I think that they are pretty much the most consistent, most fascinating musical project of the 2020s, even though they got started slightly before that in the late 2010s. Salt. And I picked up Acts of Faith, which is the sorry, it's still shrink, is the live performance. And I picked up this Cleo Soul album, which I've always wanted a copy of, and you just don't see a ton of because it's an import, and you know, I know Lunchbox has had it from time to time. I just never pulled the trigger, and I finally bought it at Premium Sound from Luke. So there you go. Very productive day. Always good to get together with Justin, discover a couple of new stores, and yeah, we'll have to get the whole gang together and do it up again some other time. But yeah, all right, we'll see you in the next video. All right, later.
Digital gramophone makes no sense.